Star Wars Unlimited enthusiasts, welcome to a lawless age, a time of lawlessness. Welcome to A Lawless Time, the 7th set of Star Wars Unlimited. Yes, oh yes, we are finally here, a lawless time. Well, I bought myself a case from Bulldog Community Gaming LLC. This is, of course, one of the boxes from my case. I've already busted through the entirety of my case, and I pulled pretty well. I pulled some good legendaries and all that, and I pulled some of the, some of the prestige cards as well. It's very interesting of my boxes. Again, the normal boxes are, again, you get 5 legendaries in the box, so that's standard right now from set 4 to now. So it's 5 legendaries, but a chance for the legendaries to be in the hyperfoil spot or a hyperspace spot, so they do have a chance to come in there as well. So you get very, very lucky, and your box just has a bunch of that. You can do that as well. You still have a chance to pull showcases from here, and now you have a chance to pull the prestige. The prestige, I forget, is the pull rate, but on average, I got most of my boxes only had 1 prestige rare card in here, 1 prestige art card in here. Some boxes had 2, so it was always kind of a gamble, but on average I always had 1, and every box had 5. I think I had 1 box that produced, I think, 7 legendaries, but again, 2 of those legendaries were taking up the hyperfoil spot and the hyperspace spot. So I mean, it's very possible. But what am I looking for this box? I'm looking for hopefully 1 more Persecutor. I have 1 right now, looking for 1 more, and I'm hoping to pull 1 more of the single reactor fire, single reactor Nixon, the kill card for red, blue, black that kills everything and then deals 1 damage to your opponent's base for everything murdered. So I'm looking for at least 1 more copy of both of those. 1 of those is very important for Piet. The other one, of course, I would like to just be able to have the board wipe that's new in the game. But again, I'm just looking for 1 more copy of each, and I would be real happy with that. And maybe, potentially, maybe we get a showcase. None of the boxes had a showcase, but maybe we get lucky and have 1 here. So without further ado, we have 24 packs in this booster box to open up. I already spoke about this in our pre-release opening that is pinging right now for you if you all want to go watch that to see what I open in a pre-release kit and all of my thoughts on pre-release kits, especially for this set. Our arts are Boba Fett, Lando Calrissian, and Jyn Erso. And once again, our pack distribution contains 16 cards, including approximately 1 leader, 1 base / token. The base and tokens are, again, on each other's back. 9 commons, 3 uncommons, 1 rare legendary, and 1 hyperspace foil, as well as almost a guarantee to always hit, as well as a hyperspace foil, always guaranteed to hit a hyperspace as well. So every pack has always had a hyperspace and a hyperspace foil. So I like what they're doing, the distribution now and all that. It feels much better. And with that, we're going to open the first pack of this box and see what I can pull for the last box of my case. Our first leader will be the one and only, the Client. Action, tap him. If you created a token this phase, exhaust an enemy unit. It just says any tokens, so if you use them, say, with an officials, and you can create spy tokens with it, you can just use his ability. He flips on 5 for a 4/4 shield on attack. If you created a token this phase, you may exhaust this unit. So it's really nice. So if you can get enough token creation, whether that's with credits or spies or any other tokens, and right now in Premiere, he's not too bad at being able to rest your opponent's stuff, and then coming out as a 4/4 shield is always really nice. The Aldani Garrison, on the backside there is a credit token for you all. Again, all the splash bases are the exact same thing. They're 27 health, and they always ignore epic action, play a card from your hand, ignoring one of its blue, green, red, or yellow aspects. For the rest, we have Inspired Recruit, Shielded Hauler, the Cloud Rider Veteran, the IGV-55 Listener. Our hyperspace will be a Severian Survivor, a Dorvian Doorbuster, Rookie Rocket Jumper, the Expendable Mercenary, Meldalian Rider. Our hyperspace foil will be Everyday More Lies. Then we have Defiant Hammerhead, Bosk, Bix Callan, and then Qui-Gon Jinn. Again, the legendaries always take the rare spot, so the last card of every pack will be either a rare or a legendary. And as I spoke about it in the pre-release, I'll speak about it again. The rare bases in this set, there are 3 of them, do come in the rare spot. They do not take the base slot. So still not great about that one. I guess the reasoning for that is not to mess up the way drafting works. Otherwise, how do you draft
with a rare base in the normal base slot. But still, not liking that it takes a rare spot at all. That's really low altogether, but still pretty good. We're going to take a look afterwards of all of our hyperspaces and all of that. We'll take a look at all our rares as well, because these are quite important. I will say the rares I'm hunting for from this set, I'm looking for more for the Anakin, the young Annie in his pod racer. I only have one of that, and that is the rare that I definitely want to try to play set.
We got Infant's Nest. This, of course, is very similar to Thrawn, where Thrawn double taps when defeated abilities. Infant's Nest double taps on attacking skills. So when you use it on an attack ability, you may pay 2, and if you do, exhaust later. If you do, use that ability again. I know I gripe about the pay 2, but I think if she didn't have it, I think she'd have to be automatically banned, or that the ban the best on attacking people, like Sabine's Masterpiece, is already going to be broken in this strategy. She flips on 5 for 3/7, and then she does allow you to double tap all your on attack abilities when they use an on attack ability free of charge, but you can only use the ability once per round. So very much what Thrawn does on his backside. So I'm glad to see more double tap style leaders. I think that's a really cool style of leader. We have the Imperial Command Complex, Attack from All Sides, Night Wind Assailants, Industrious Team, Sun Tool Berserkers, a Rickety Quad Jumper Hyperspace, Season Tracker, Unmarked Credits, Getaway Freighter, Scavenging Sandcrawler, Swoop Bike Marauder, BT-1, Hunter for Hire, a second hyperspace in the Governor Shuttle, and then Fire Across the Galaxy. I mean, really, this feels so good because we have Spectres and all the new Spectres we got in this set, but it feels also so bad because if you really want to play this card, play it when you use any number of win play abilities on, may use any number of win played abilities on friendly Spectre units. This feels so nice for what Spectres can do, especially the other Spectres from, of course, the other sets, but unfortunately the problem is, this card really will only see major play in Eternal because of the Hera leader from Spark. So, kind of a wasted opportunity, really. I wish we had a better leader to really utilize all the Spectres together in this set than just Eternal. But who knows? Maybe someone will figure out to utilize the Hera from this set and be able to do everything with it. But nonetheless, it's still a really fun card for Spectres. We got Aura Singh. Action Tapper, defeat a non-leader unit with 1 or less remaining HP. She flips on 7 for 3/7, and then when she's deployed, may defeat a non-leader unit with 5 or less remaining HP. I don't know how to feel about this leader. I mean, there's some times where you could get this, but it feels like most of Red Ping kind of lost itself to Eternal. Like we lost Daring Raid, which would have been nice. We lost Open Fire, which would have been nice. Sure that we have those very somewhat similar cards in the game in Premiere, but not as good as those originals. So I don't know. I mean, we do have, of course, the sniper rifle in this set that's an upgrade that you can attach to one of your guys, and then they can tap themselves to make your opponent's guy 1 HP, so then you can use the Aura Sing ability to pop it. But still, not great. Not mentioning she's a 7 cost that comes out and kills any non-leader unit with 5 or less remaining HP. I don't know. Maybe someone will figure something to play with her, but not me. Coaxium Mine Hyperspace, Incapacitate, Relentless Hunter, Mastery, Sultan's Sapper, Partisan Infantry, Haymaker, Rookie Rocket Jumper, Hidden Hunters, Cartel Heavy Fighter, Rookie Rocket Jumper Hollow, Chio Fan, Sabine Wren, Val, and our first legendary will be Max Rebo. Alright, anyways, Max Rebo, funny enough, one of my boxes actually gave me a hyperspace version of him as well, so this is actually my second copy of him. Max Rebo states on himself, he's a 4/2/7. There's an additional regrouping phase after the first regrouping phase each round. So basically, he doubles your regrouping phase. So after you complete the first one, you and your opponent will go through another one, meaning that you draw 2 cards again and resource 1 if you like. Not mentioning that if your opponent has 1, you do it again. He does not state you have a second one, is that you have an additional. So it's not like you get 2 regrouping phases, you get an additional, meaning that if you and your opponent both have a Max Rebo out, it means that both of you are claiming that ability, meaning that you both are drawing 2 more cards and resourcing potentially another card, meaning that if you both have 1 out, you've drawn 6 deeper into your deck and resourced 3 more. So yeah, it's still a very cool card.
definitely a legendary I thought a lot of people would hunt down, so I'm glad to have a second copy in my collection here. But that is our first of our 5 legendaries. Again, I'm looking hopefully to get another Persecutor and another single ignition fire. Single reactor fire. Alright, before we jump into this pack, everyone, tell me, how exactly are you sorting out your cards? I'll pull out this Max Rebo. How exactly are you sorting your cards now with the multi-aspected guys? I used to sort my guys through each of their major colors, so we always have blue, red, green, yellow, you know, then white, black, and neutral. But now with this, how are you guys going to do it? I'm just sorting with the color combinations. So if it's green, yellow, it's always green, yellow. That's where it's going to go. But let me know what you guys are going to do for your sorting for these guys, because since we now have multi-aspected cards in the game. Moving on to our next leader, we have Director Krennic. Action, defeat a friendly unit, create a credit token. Really nice to play with the expendable mercenary. You can attack with him and then kill him off with Director Krennic, triggering his effect to allow you to ramp. He flips on 7 for 9, and then when deployed, another friendly unit deals damage equal to its power to an enemy unit. So basically, you could target one of your guys and have them ping that much damage to an enemy unit. So he's not too bad. I don't know what people are really going to play with him, but he does have some ability to kill some things, to make credit tokens, to allow you to play bigger things, so you could bring out bigger ships and stuff like that with him. But yeah, so I think he's a pretty cool leader. I'm not sure what to really play with him just yet, but I think there's some playability with Director Krennic overall. Otherwise, he's a pretty fun leader. Stygian Spire, collateral damage, Night Wind, Imperial Door Technician, the Saveron. Our hyperspace will be the Janity Light Freighter. Combat Exercise, Street Gang Recruiter, Beat Patroller ACT, Cage Elite. Our foil will be the Axe Frigates, Shifty Suspects, Dengar. We did get a legendary in a hyperfoil spot of the Lawbringer. This is my second copy of the Lawbringer, and both are in hyperspace, hilariously enough. But anyways, the Lawbringer states when played on attack, choose an aspect. Each enemy unit with that aspect gets -2/-2 for the phase. So a very neat card. Piet could play this as well as you could also do this in Voss Blue, because Voss could then run this out in space and ambush to something, and then because it's a win plate on attacks trigger, it would get both, meaning that you could name -4 to something. So you could name the same aspect twice, giving something -4/-4 if it shares that aspect. So really cool. Already a second legendary out of the box. I'm not sure if it's going to take one of the legendary spots, but typically, because our last card here is going to be Asajj Ventress, in the rare spot, this usually would be where the legendary is, but this is in a hyperfoil spot. So we'll have to see if that does count to this box's rank of 5 legendaries. Next leader, Han Solo. You know, beat a friendly token, any token, meaning spies, anything like that, credits. And if you do 1 damage to a unit, flip him on 5. He's 4/5 with Saboteur on attack. Defeat a number of friendly tokens. Deal damage to a unit equal to the number of tokens defeated this way. While he's a 5 flip, I don't know about his ability, because you need enough token generation to really make him work, and I don't know if we're going to get enough token generation. While I think credit tokens are going to be very much important in this thing, in this game, and this meta specifically, I'm not sure if he's going to be the unit you want to be playing, but still, we could see potentially someone we could make him win a PQ or in something. Who knows? We have the Partisans Hideout, Stalwart Fleet Trooper, the Listener, Cloud Rider Veteran, Shield Drive Outfitter. Our hyperspace will be the Brokra Shield Shipbreaker, Follower of the Code, Canyon Frontrunner, Mercenary Fleet, Guild Ambush. Our hyperspace foil will be Devarian Row Doorbuster, the Smuggler YT 2400, the Tree Remembers, Mid-Rim Sharpshooter, and our rare is Ballarat Valance. Next up on the line, our new Lord Vader, our 4th Lord Vader. We had our Vader from Spark, our Vader from JTL, our Vader from Hoth. Now we have our Vader from A Lawless Time. This is, of course, the Vader that I really like the showcase of, because he's in the hallway scene from a Rogue One. Yeah, so anyways, action, discard a card from your hand, deal 1 damage to a unit or base. If you control 7 or more resources, flip him over. He's a 6/8 on attack, discard any number of cards from your hand, deal damage to a unit or base equal to the number of cards discarded this way. Again, he's very interesting because he has discard, and again, I've always been kind of hesitant about discarding because of the nature of keeping a hand advantage in Star Wars Unlimited, since you only technically draw 2, but
I don't know. Maybe someone could figure out a way to break him, build him right. I don't know. I think on his backside he's a little better because if you can go swing and then potentially go for the game by pitching the rest of your hand out, so you ping the damage on the attack and then swing in for the 8, which is pretty nice. So there is that as well, but I don't know. I'm not really sold on this Vader. Love the showcase, not really sold on the Vader. Partisan's Hideout, Incapacitate, Daring Delve, Mastery, Fleet, Stalwart Fleet Trooper, Canyon Frontrunner Hyperspace, Quarren Contractor, Wee Pirate, Target Tagger, Improvise. Our Hyperspace Hollow will be the Vandar Range Troopers, Termine Bracona, Jabba's Rancor. We have another Hyperspace in Hold for Questioning, and then a Hound's Tooth. We got a Hyperspace Leader in the Young Boba Fett. This is number 3 Boba Fett. We have Spark, JTL, and then this one. So this one's all about bounty hunters. When a friendly bounty hunter unit attacks ends, if the defending unit was defeated, you may exhaust his leader. If you do, create a credit token. You flip him on 5, and then he's got raid 1, and then when a friendly bounty hunter unit, including himself, attack ends, if the defending unit was defeated, create a credit token. So your whole gimmick is that you're just going to run bounty hunters into your opponent's stuff, killing them, and then just making a whole bunch of credit tokens. You know what? I think it's going to be a pretty fun deck to play around with. I don't think it's going to be meta, but still, I mean, just killing your opponent's stuff to make credit tokens and then using those credit tokens to build out bigger guys overall is pretty fun. So, yeah, you know what? I think I'm really going to try this leader. I think he's going to be quite fun just to play with. Now we have the Coaxium Mine, Watchful, Haxion Aggressor, Al-Kandinzi Patroller, Everyday More Lies, Circuit Challenger, Hyperspace, Partisan U-Wing, Criminal Contact, Onaka Gang Starhopper, Pirate Snub Fighter, Lattice Razzie in the Hyperspace Foil, Syndicate Spice Runner, Cantino Bright Security, Arvel Skeen, and then we have a Maz Cantina. Not a legendary I was hoping to pull, but still a good legendary nonetheless, especially if you're going to do Underworld Tribal, whether in any format. When this attack ends, if this unit survives, search top 5 cards of your deck for an Underworld unit, play it. It costs 4 less. And it's played ready. At the start of your grouping phase, put that unit on the bottom of your deck if it's still in play. So since a lot of Underworld guys also have Bounty Hunters, you could do a red-yellow strategy with Boba, using Maz to, of course, bring you out your Underworld guys with your Bounty Hunters and then swing them in and kill your opponent's units, creating credit tokens to allow you to do more things. So you could think of it like that way. So overall, it's not a legendary I wanted to really pull since I'm looking for the Persecutor and the single Ignition. But still, it's a good legendary. Don't get me wrong. It's a good legendary for what it does, and it's just about tribal spamming. We got a Hyperspace, the Client, for you all. Then we have the Stygian Spire, Inspired Recruit, Rickety Quad Jumper, Alliance X-Wing, Shielded Hauler, Champion KTR9 Pod Racer, Undercity Hunting Team, Improvise, Ruthless Duo, Kessel Hulk. Our hollow is 000. We have Targeted for Removal, Choke on Your Aspirations, Don't Choke on Your Aspirations, Director Krennic. Transmission Jamming, and then a Shadow of Stygian Prime. I now have 2 of these. I still would like to see one more Anakin from this set. I know that rare isn't going to be as thoughtful as most others because, again, it's yellow, blue, and white, but still it's a very good one. But I'll take this any day of the week. By the way, this is really good in Limited because in the Limited, there isn't many ways to knock off upgrades off units. So putting this upgrade on a one of your opponent's units and then having them had to figure out how to deal with it because it can only go onto non-leader units and then basically burning them for 2, and there isn't much upgrade removal, if at all, in this set. So Limited, this card, kind of keep an eye out for this one. Very dangerous. We spoke about the Spectre, so here's the leader of the Spectres herself, Hera Syndulla. She's worse off than her Hera Syndulla from Spark. Spark Hera is just so much better. So while you control 2 or more units, ignore aspect penalties on all heroic cards you play. She flips on 5,
Restore 1, which I think I like Hera from Spark a little better, because on Hera with Spark, she can, on attack, give an experience token to any number, a unique unit. She is Restore 1, 3, 6, and if you control 2 or more units, ignore aspect penalties on your heroic units you play. So, she does the exact same thing. The one problem with her, if you run into strategies that are killing your bodies off before you can stabilize enough of your bodies, it doesn't feel great. This feels like the leader to play all the Spectres in, but again, you have to have 2 or more units to have the ability to make sure that you can ignore the aspect penalty on your heroic. So again, like I said, she does not feel like the great Hera, but she's a Hera. Nonetheless, I mean, she's still not bad. I just don't think she's all that great. And she feels like the leader that you're going to have to play if you want to play all the Spectres together in this set. Unless, of course, you're in the Eternal format. We got the Canto Bright Cosino, Storm Rider, Phoenix Squadron Fighters, the Prototype TIE Advanced, Defiant Scrapper, the Rhodian Bondsman Hyperspace, Wookiee Gorilla, Partisans U-Wing, a Todarian Technician, the Jaunty, a Circuit Challenger in the and foil, That's a Rock, Millennium Falcon, a Scarif Lieutenant in hyperspace, and then good old Galen Urso. Another card I think is going to be quite fun. I think more fun in Twin Suns than anything else, but still going to be a nuisance even in this meta. When played, you may have an opponent take control of this unit. Enemy units gain Raid 1 and Saboteur. So basically, you just give your opponent this 0/5, and then all your stuff gains Raid 1 and Saboteur. So basically, you play it, give it to your opponent, then all your stuff now has Raid 1 Saboteur, and your opponent then has to run it into one of your guys as one of their actions to try to kill it off so that you don't continue to give them the Raid 1 and Saboteur. But still, I think it's pretty fun, and also Twin Suns. Give it to your opponent you hate the most, and then see what happens. So yeah, I think it's going to be a fun card. We got a normal Arded Boba Fett here. Then we got the Imperial Command Complex, a Defiant Scrapper, Onaka Game Bandits, Vigilant Scouts, Cavern Angels X-Wing, a Shield Drive Outfitter Hyperspace, Guild Ambush, Profiteering Hunter, Nil Storm Sower, Partisan Infantry, Hidden Hunters Hyperspace, the Foil, Chopper, Shadow Cloaking, Jango Fett, and Fear and Dead Men. This is my second copy of this one as well. But still, a very interesting one. It's really good for the Vader. This card costs 1 less for each card discarded from your hand this phase. So basically, if Vader's flipped on his backside, you go and discard most of your hand. You can reduce the cost of this and then deal 4 damage to each enemy ground unit. So it's pretty cool. I like the art of that as well. Just him standing with all those rebels around him. Well, poor them. But nonetheless, it's a really cool card. It's very gimmicky because it only works for the Vader because then you can reduce the cost. Other than that, it's still a pretty good card just to play at the 7-drop turn. But I don't know. I mean, you're only 1 turn away if you're in in blue-red of using single reactor. So I don't know. Still, it's a cool card nonetheless. We got a Vel Sareth, a leader I actually want to play around with because we did get the Korvaxia Guard or Korvaxia Soldier for the Imperials. That's just mono blue that turns off all your opponent's credits abilities, which actually 100% helps this leader because action you give an experience token to a unit, an opponent creates a credit token. You flip for 6, and then on attack give an experience token to a unit, including this one. If you do, your opponent creates a credit token. So your opponent gets credit tokens out of it, but still, it cannot be knocked about the ability to give yourself experience tokens, buffing your units while just giving your opponent credit. But we have other ways to steal credit tokens, to deal with credit tokens that, depending on how you build this leader, you could basically almost nullify your opponent's ability to utilize credit tokens. So, or just beat your opponent in the face before they can really even utilize credits. So just be cautious when using this leader because of that credit ability. But still, I think I want to try her out. I think I have some strange ideas to play her around, but she's a very fun leader, I think. We have the Contested Caverns, the Hidden Hand Supplier, Syndicate Security, Dogged Pursuers, Vandor Ranged Troopers, the Caverns Angel X-Wing Hyperspace. From a certain point of view, this is also our only other card that allows you to ignore aspect penalties. So play a card from your hand, paying its cost as normal, ignore its aspect penalties. So basically, you can play this for 1, kind of similar to what we have with Agent Kallus, but with just a mono color, so monoless color card. Wookiee Gorilla, the Jaunty, the Black Sun Patroller. Without a doubt, if you're someone who is playing 𝐿 put this in your deck. It's a great 2-drop. It comes in shielded, meaning your opponent just can't wipe it off the board, meaning that you automatically get a free attack for your next turn and create a X-Wing. Onaka Gang Bandits, Hyperspace Hollow, the Savage Blaster, the Max Rebo Band. Hey, look, there's Max Rebo himself with his band. So the band is really nice with Max Rebo because when the regroup phase starts, you just create a credit token. We got potentially our one and only copy of the Prestige rare card of R2-D2. This is, of course, the specialty rare card from the Leia Organa starter deck. And we did pull an Anakin Skywalker. All right, I now have 2 copies. 3 is the maximum in Star Wars Unlimited. I will take 2 right now. At least I have some consistency to play with 2. Why I want this, why I really wanted another copy of this is because when a friendly unit attack ends, if no other units were attacked this phase, you may return it to its own hand. If you do, heal 2 damage from your base. This is really good to combo with his Pod Racer because the Pod Racer has ambush, and in ambush, if it's the only unit that attacked this phase, it gets first strike. So technically, you could ambush out his Pod Racer, get first strike, maybe potentially kill. You'd have to kill the unit you're going after because first strike only triggers if you, as long as you survive the attack, as long as your opponent dies to the attack, and then you can just bounce it back to your hand with the Anakin and heal 2 from your base. So that's a really good combination. Again, the Anakin's Pod Racer is also in yellow-white, so you just need to play something with blue to get this to work. So I'm glad to have a second copy of this rare. Another Saj, Dynamo Palace. Then we have Dodged Pursuers, Droid Laser Turret. This is basically your nice, friendly Village Protectors. Just one little better than Village Protectors because it comes in shielded, but doesn't live very long. Commence the Festivals, Black Sun Cartel, a Criminal Contact Hyperspace, Black Sun Patroller, Masasai Group Marines, there we go, I figured out the name. From a certain point of view, Artful Pit Pocket, a Hyperspace Hollow Daring Delve, a Banta Eve Flagbearer, Shifty Suspects, a Secret Battle of Pretend, and a third Lawbringer. Okay, well, I guess I'm getting pushed into play Piet Blue rather than Piet Red. But still, a second Lawbringer. I'll take that. That completes my Lawbringer playset. I wish that was a Persecutor, if I was being honest, or if that had been a single reactor. But I'll take a third Lawbringer. I definitely will take a third Lawbringer. Another Vel. Another Casino Hyperspace. Everyday More Lies. Callous Bounty Hunter. Bith Brute. Cavern X-Wings. Swoop Bike Marauder. That is a second. That is actually our first of the hyperspace foils, hyperspaces. Putting a team together, Criminal Contact, Way Pirate Gang, Profiting Hunter, Flashed Events, Montina Eve Flagbearer, a Hans Golden Dice, a Val, and I did open, I've now playsetted Mr. Ben Solo. Oh man, my favorite character from the Disney Star Wars continuity, Ben Solo! Not Kylo Ren. Alright, well, anyways, I still don't think he's that bad. A 9/8/8 hidden, and when played, when defeated, ready another friendly unit. It can't be attacked this phase, so basically you give it hidden. It's not bad, but a 9-drop, not great. It's also red, which could have been the Persecutor again, but still glad to have my playset of Mr. Ben Solo. Lando Calrissian. New young Lando too. I think this is our third Lando. This is also our second young Lando Calrissian as well. Young Lando first appeared in Shadow, and then we got Lando, the JTL leader, and now we have Lando here. Action, pay 1, tap him. Choose an aspect and discard a card for your deck if it has a chosen aspect, credit tokens. Basically, you're self-milling yourself, and then he flips over for 6, for 7, and then when deployed, you may defeat a friendly credit token. If you do, create 3 credit tokens. The backside's a lot better, because if you have 1 credit token, you can kill it to make 3, so you +2 on the credit token. Any credit token you kill, you +2 on it. And the front side's not bad. I pay 1, tap him to choose an aspect, and discard a card from your deck. You could discard a rock. You could discard rock, and then basically deal damage to something. I don't know, because there's not really much of a way to put cards back in the deck. I mean, we do have the Sandcrawler as well, so I mean, you do have that. Unfortunately, he can't use OOO or BT1 because they're both in the villainy aspect. So I don't know. I think he's a pretty neat leader for what he can do, especially when he flips over his backside to be able to create 3 credit tokens by just killing 1 of yours. Meaning you can mass credit tokens very easy with his front side and then be able to then produce a bunch. In sealed, not great, but I think in normal Premier, I think he's not too bad overall, but still pretty cool leader to kind of play around with, to think about, folks. We have a Hyperspace Imperial Command Complex, B-Wing Skirmisher, the droid, the Overcharged Transport. I hate this card being printed because it's when played, when defeated, you may defeat an upgrade attached to a space unit. This kills all the JTL leaders except Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker is the only one that self-protects, because for some odd reason, Fantasy Flight decided not to self-protect all the other JTL leaders. I don't know. I don't know why they're just so afraid of JTL leaders. If they become broken, then ban them. That's all I'm going to say. Black Sun Kabbalist, Profiteering Hunter Hyperspace, a Undercity Hunting Team, a Tordarian Technician, a Ruthless Duo, Space Hulk, Kessel Hulk, a Rondanian Bondsman Hyperspace Hollow, Nothing Left to Fear, Rick, Salvage Materials, and Rogue One. Also, another really good card, actually, for any deck that's just mono blue. When a friendly unit is defeated, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put any number of them on the bottom of your deck and the rest on top. So it's really good. It's a Inferno 4, but always on when your stuff is killed off. So be mindful of that one. It's just a nice scry to automatically know what you need to see. So I think this could see some really good play as a really good scry card to kind of manipulate the top of your deck so you always draw what you want to draw. So pretty neat. Another, the Client. We can never have too many clients. Imperial Command Complex, Rodian, Haxion, Vandor, Braca, the B-Wing in Hyperspace, the Axe Frigates, Pirate Snubfighter, Windfall, Target Tagger, the Incapacitate in Hollow Hyperspace, Patient Hunter, the Tree Remembers, Shadow Cloaking in Hyperspace, and then a Benthic Tubes, which actually completes my collection of Benthic Tubes. On attack, deal 1 damage to an enemy unit. Really good if you wanted to play like a green combination with Infant's Nest, or you can also play it with Saw Gerrera, because Saw automatically plays in this coloration. And then when defeated, deal 1 damage to a base. So it also has a nice when defeated skill as well. So pretty interesting. Unfortunately, you couldn't actually play it in Thrawn because Thrawn is blue naturally. So you couldn't play it in JTL Thrawn because unfortunately you just can't utilize the when defeated skill well enough. But still, it's a neat card, 100%. We got another Hera Syndulla. All right. We got another Canto Bight, Rodian, Storm Raider, Kill Switch. This is a little funny because I just don't know if that's technically correct in Star Wars lore. If a TIE fighter can disconnect its solar fins from itself, but still it's kind of funny because it technically is just the 3-cost card that does the exact same thing but gives a unit -2/-2. Perilous Positions, it just gives a unit -1/-1, but also exhausts. Commence the Festivals, Onaka Gang, Starhopper, Hyper, the Axe Frigates, Putting a Team Together, Artful Pickpocket, the Massey Group, Marines, the Gang Recruiter, Hyper Foil, Honor-Bound Partisans, Ezra Bridger, Mid-Rim Sharpshooter, and the Mandalorian. The Wah-wah! Anyways, I now have 2 of him as well. I think he's not too bad of a unit. When played, draw a card. When you draw 1 or more cards during your action phase, give a shield token to this unit. This is actually really good, especially if you're going to play Vader in blue. Vader's naturally red, so you can automatically do this so that you can automatically draw a card, which is really nice, especially in a Vader leader where you have to kill where you're milling cards. It's not actually a bad legendary to put in there. So, not a bad one to get a second copy of, in my opinion. All right, folks. Well, I counted up. We have our 5 normal legendaries pulled, so we're not expecting any more legendaries in the normal area, unless somehow this box has more. But we can expect them in the hyperspace territory, so we can expect those. Infant's Nest, then a Contested Caverns, a Hidden Hand Supplier, Valiant Scouts, Onaka Gang Bandits, Kill Switch, the Masai Group Marines in the Hyper, Season Tracker, Canyon Frontier, Follower of the Code, Unmarked Credits, a Cage Elite in the Hyper Foil, Scarif Lieutenant, Tenth 4, Skiku Battle Pretend, and then a Rose Tico, my second copy of Rose Tico as well. So Rose Tico is a 5/5/5 that is, if you control a non-unique unit, this enters play ready. So it's not you control
you have to control all non-unique units. This enters play ready. If you control a non-unique unit, this enters play ready. So it's really nice. So as long as you control a non-unique unit, you can play her out and have her standing as well. So that's really, really nice. Hyperspace Agent Callus, everybody. Action, pay 1, tap them, play a card from your hand, nor its aspect penalties. Again, you have to pay the cost of the card you're playing out. So whatever card you play out, so let's say you want to play this out, you have to pay 1 for him, tap him, and then pay 3 more for this. So you have to pay 4 overall for that card. Then he flips for 5. He still has action, pay 1, play a card from your hand, ignoring his aspect penalties. And then when you play a heroic card, heal 2 damage. So basically, it's Callus being a double agent. So he's technically still on the side of the Empire, but on the backside, he's the double agent of, I think, Fulgrim, or something like that. But still, it's a really good leader and really good force shield 100%. For a lot of people for draft, people think this is going to be the leader that 100% is going to be hunted. If you could pull it, congratulations, you're probably winning. Alderney Garrison, Bith Brute, Prototype TIE Advanced, Callus Bounty Hunter, Phoenix Squadron Fighters, Haxian Aggressor Hyper, Windfall, Liberated Wookiee, Street Game Recruiter, Cage Elite, Secret Battle of Pretend Hyper Foil, OO, Patient Hunter, Kanan Jarrus, and the Ghost. And look at that, it's Kanan and the Ghost. So anyways, the Ghost states, when played, give an experience token and a show token to a unit, including this one. So you give both to one unit. Or if you control a blue and or red unit, you may give an experience token and show token to each up to 2 units instead. So you can give it this and another one. But again, like I said, all the Spectres have the exact same problem in this set, to my feeling, is that unless you can build around having this aspect alongside whatever you're doing, this is not going to feel great. I just don't like that the Spectres are really cool for what they do. They just do not feel like they're going to be great in this set, because they really want to be down there using this effect. Now, the Ghost, I think, could still be a very good card at a 6-drop 4/4 in space, especially for JTL-style leaders. But still, I don't know. I'm not completely sold on them being good in this meta. Maybe I get proven wrong. We got a Hera, then a Canto Bright, Flashed Events, Lost and Forgotten, Restless Hunters, Circuit Challenger, Rookie Rocket Jumper, Haymaker, Back by the Huts, Mercenary Fleet, Cartel Heavy Fighter. The Hyperspace, apologies, was the Rookie Rocket Jumper. Forgot to mention that. Not that you all couldn't see it as well. Then our foil will be, of course, the Partisans Infantry, Wezzel, Forlom, Zeb, and okay, I play-setted Cad Bane. I was not expected to get a 6th legendary in this box. Technically now we have 7 legendaries because of the Hyperspace Lawbringer. But we got Cad Bane. Blue, green, black that has shield, overwhelm, and on attack. Defeat a number of friendly cred tokens. Give an experience token to this unit for each cred defeated this way. So basically, if you wanted to play maybe blue-green with Boba because you have boss access in blue-green, you have access to him because he's a bounty hunter, so you could swing, then kill all the cred tokens you created because of Boba, and then just give him a bunch of XP and potentially win the game from there by swinging at your base. So pretty cool. Glad to have play-setted my Cad Bane now. All right. Wasn't expecting another one. We've already pulled 5 normal legendaries, so who knows? Maybe this box has more in store for us. All right, folks. After this one, we only have 4 packs left in the box. We got another Han Solo. It's Han Solo, everybody. We got the Contested Caverns, then the Barca, the Leppy Lookout, the Bunny themselves. Again, I wish the furry bait in Star Wars. Furry bait in my Star Wars. I mean, let's not all say it. Visions has Lop, and Lop is definitely furry bait. Let's never lie about it. She's furry bait. She's definitely bait for me. Take that as you will, whether or not I may be a furry. Daring Delve, Lost and Forgotten, Hidden Hand Supplier, Quarren Contractor, Cutthroat Pod Racer, Beach Patrol ATCT, Backed by the Huts, a Quarren Contractor, Governor's Shuttle, the Interrogation Droid. This is my final copy of the Adventure Sniper Rifle I needed. This is the one that works really well with the Asajj, where it's Attached unit gains action, tap itself, choose an undamaged non-leader ground unit. Its printed HP is considered to be 1, which then you just utilize the 𝐒𝐓𝐃 to kill it. So that's how you do it. And then we did get a secondary rare in our normal rare legendary spot of Sebulba's Pod Racer. When you discard a card from your deck, you may ready this unit. Uses ability only once per round. It's really good for Sebulba because Sebulba naturally already mills your deck. So being able to restand this and then attack again twice is pretty nice with 6 damage going at your opponent's base. Hyperspace, Asajj Ventress. We just saw the sniper rifle that really goes with her. Then we have a Hyperspace Contested Caverns. Then an Industrious Team, the Soul Tool, the Shield, the Attack from All Sides, Phoenix Squadron Escort Hyper, Champion KT9 Pod Racer, Getaway, Cutthroat Pod Racer, Common Cause, the Bosk Hyperspace. This is what I was talking about, where Bosk is about on attack, give a unit +1/+1 for the phase. You may give a unit -1/-1 for the phase. Young Boba is right back there. They're from the Clone Wars because they actually worked together in the Clone Wars series. So, yeah, so you could, like I said, do a Bounty Hunter aspect with blue-green, so then you could play the Boba in this coloration. Then we have Broken Horn, Payroll Heist, Finn, and then Bodhi Rock. On attack, you may give a friendly Rebel Sentinel for the phase. This is really good for the Jyn Erso leader because Jyn Erso is all about rebels. She's a new Rebel tribal deck, basically. But you could also, if you really wanted to play an Eternal, you could do Leia from Spark, and then play this as well, and then give Rebels your Sentinel as well. But still, for Premier, this is a Jyn Erso staple. This is our last Lando Calrissian pack. We've already burned through all of our Jyn packs. We've already burned through all the Lando packs. We only have 2 Boba packs left. And we're going to have an Infant's Nest. Then a Canto Bite. A Saravan, the Circuit, Swoop, a Hyper Al-Khazni Patroller, Hyper, back-to-back, a Follower of the Code, Common Cause, Bank Job, Rebel Blockade, Combat Exercise, our Hollow will be Improvise, then C-3PO, Veiled Strength, Lady Promixia, and then 2 Phase Triog. Pretty interesting one, has Sentinel, and then when played, you may have an opponent take control of this unit if you create 2 credit tokens. It's kind of interesting one to play with Tobias. In this set, another leader I actually kind of really want to try out is Tobias, just because I think he's very interesting of a leader to play around with, where you can give your opponent all your guys, then when he flips, kill them all and create credit tokens for every guy you killed. So, yeah, still a very neat card here where you could give it to your opponent, give them a 2/4 Sentinel, and then create 2 credit tokens, which in turn could help you bring something else out bigger. So, pretty interesting card. Second to last pack. Our second to last Boba pack as well. Do we have any last minute pack luck on Showcase or on Legendaries? Well, we have an Aura Sing, Dynamo's Palace, Swoop Bike, Sultan, Alliance X-Wing, Rickety, Stalwart Hyper, Blockade, Hidden Hunters, Bank Job, Sandcrawler, Nightwind Assailants, Hyperfoil, Honan, Staccato Lightning Repeater, another Hyperspace in Dengar, and then Vault's Skier's Defender. When played, you may discard a card from your hand or deck this phase, give a show token to this unit, and then on attack may deal 1 damage to a space unit and exhaust it. So basically you can swing, exhaust space, and deal with that. So yeah, pretty interesting card altogether. Unfortunately, I don't know what JTL leaders are really going to run it, because I thought maybe you could run it with it'd be really nice to actually run it for Vader, but unfortunately Vader's not in that coloration anyways. He's not red or yellow, he's green. But still, it's a nice little card to deal with JTL strategies, or even deal with like Vader strategies altogether, because you can just on attack kill off all the little tokens, or even deal 1 damage to their 1 only non-token unit and then kill it, then exhaust it so they can't reproduce tokens. So it's an interesting thought overall. It's probably going to be a side deck card in my opinion to deal with like JTL Vader or even JTL period. This is it, folks. Last pack. Now, I'm not expecting a legendary. I'm not expecting a showcase. Showcases, I believe, in normal boxes are 1 to every 288 cards. I'm not expecting to get a prestige art card either, so we'll just see what we get. And it's going to be a normal Agent Callus. No showcase out of my case, but that makes complete sense when a case doesn't guarantee you a showcase leader. Anyways, 𝐂𝐒 Mine, Flashed Events, Imperial, Collateral, Watchful, 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 Pirate Gang, Hyper, the Pod Champion, the Expendable Mercenary, the Milodon Rider, the Dodarian, the Cavern Angels X-Wing Hyperfoil, the Hans Golden Dice, Stockpile, Betrayed Trust, and then the Phantom. Another good Spectre unit when played. If you play a heroic unit from your hand, paying its cost, give an experience token to it. So you may play a heroic unit paying its cost, and you just get an experience token to it. So not too bad. Again, does have that Spectre, which is nice. So meaning that you can play this with the Hera from Spark. But that is it, folks. Now we're gonna look over all the cards we got from this box. All right, folks. For our rares, we got the Phantom, Bolt, Skiri's Defender, Sebulba's Pod Racer, The Ghost, Rose Tico, Rogue One, Anakin Skywalker, Fear and Dead Men, Galen Urso, Shadow of Stygian Prime, Houndstooth, Valorant Valance, Asajj Ventress, Fire Across the Galaxy, and Qui-Gon Jinn. For our hyperspaces, which were now way more common in overall within the set, which really is very nice to have more common hyperspaces. 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄𝐒 Pirate, Stalwart Fleet Trooper, Dengar Follower of the Code, the 𝐒𝐍𝐉𝐎𝐾 Patroller, the Contested Caverns, Aura Sing, Phoenix Squadron Fighters, Hidden Hand Supplier, Adventurer Sniper Rifle, Rookie Rocket Jumper, Haxian Aggressor, Masasi Group Marines, Onaka Ging Starhopper, Mid-Rim Sharpshooter, B-Wing Skirmisher, Shadow Cloaking, Imperial Command Complex, Profiteering, Canto Bite, Swoop Bike Marauder, Criminal Contact, Cavern Angels X-Wing, Shield Drive Outfitter, Canto Bite, Rodorian Bondsman, Scarif Lieutenant, The Client, Champions KT9 Pod Racer, Boba Fett, Circuit Challenger, Canyon Frontrunner, Hold for Questioning, Bakara Shipbreaker, Junti Light Freighter, Coaxium Mine, Partisan Infantry, Rickety Quad Jumper, Governor Shuttle, and Savarian Survivor. Our one only copy of a Prestige will be R2-D2, so if you're buying a box, you're always going to at least be guaranteed 1 per box. 2, you're going to get lucky. And then for our Legendaries, Cad Bane, The Mandalorian, Ben Solo, Maz Kanata, Double Lawbringer, and 1 Max Rebo. Overall, you know, I wish I had a couple of different Legendaries. I wish for a Persecutor and a single reactor. But overall, I'm not going to lie about getting a triple Lawbringer. I still think this card is going to be very good, even in a Piet Blue strategy. I think Piet Blue could still be very, very lethal with double Lawbringer, and you still have access to some pretty good ships, even in green. But yeah, overall, not too bad. Also, like I said, I really wanted to do Boba, so I'm glad to see the Cad Bane, and this is my final copy I need of him. But could I have done some better things? Yeah, I wish I had play-setted my Anakin's Pod Racer. Wish I could have gotten one more Persecutor, because I think I could have done a 2-3 split depending on it. I would have liked to have seen a full playset of single reactor ignition, just because I think that's the best kill card in the game. But still, they're not going to be bad. It really, when it comes to the market, it's all going to just matter on where the market is. Me personally, I'm not going to bust any more boxes. I could potentially go out and buy another case of product again, and potentially maybe pull the cards I need. But again, at that point, you're just buying the case to, I guess, pray for also a showcase to come out of it. Because otherwise, just buy the cards by themselves. I mean, unless, of course, they add up too much, and then it's more worth to buy a case and pray and hope you pull it. But yeah, overall, I'm glad what I got. I got most of everything play-setted. Most of everything is a 2 of in my collection. So, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take what this case gave me. But, yeah, and overall, I like the new pack distribution. Overall, I mean, it's just great of what we got. Overall, I mean, it's just really, really good.
funny enough, I don't think we actually looked at the hyperspaces foils. So Cavern, Angel's X-Wing, the Night Wind Assailant, Improvise Bosk, Quarren Contractor, Partisan Infantry, Secret Battle of Pretend, Cage Elite, Secret Gang, Street Gang Recruiter, Incapacitate, Rhodian Bondsman, Flash Events, Daring Delve, Onaka Gang Bandits, Hidden Hunters, Circuit Challengers 000, Lattice Razy, the Vandor Range Troopers, Devarian Doorbuster, the Axe Frigates, Rookie Rocket Jumper, Swoop Bike Marauder, and then Everyday More Lies. Apologies, I meant to actually show you, KCU, all those ones. But yeah, as I was saying, yeah, you know what? I like the breakdown of the way Legendaries are now in this set, especially since set 4. Overall, I like now that every pack is always guaranteeing you to get a hyperspace and a hyperspace foil. Always better. I like that we're no longer getting the black border foils altogether. But yeah, overall, I like the changes they've done. I like that we now get prestige arts inside the boxes. I think this will definitely help keep some of those prestige art prices down. But nonetheless, guys, you let me know your thoughts down in the comments on A Lawless Time. Have you guys busted a box? How many boxes have you busted? What have you opened from your boxes? What are you wanting to play? What is the first leader you're going to bust out and try out? Let me know all that down in the comments. And while you're commenting, do make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you know if when my videos go live for you. And we'll see you here next time on Mama Dragons TCG.